Thank you. I do beg your pardon. So the season is just around the corner, and after a gloriously sunshiny day, at press and practice, I am in the mood. Of course, I don't believe the British weather will give us such a show on 2 Wednesdays on the trot. Still, I can dream. In other news, Matt Ford has flexed his Speedway muscles, but this time in a way and against a target we can all agree with, saying he will not sign a piece of paper guaranteeing Jack Holder will be available to ride at Torrun whenever, whatever, only in Speedway. It's really going well today. Wow, Chris. He's been on holiday, you know.
Sorry.
He's come back with blancmange brain, I think.
Fucking bride's about this.
Well done. It's so professional. That's
yeah, you know me.
So. Good evening, everybody. We have in the studio tonight Chris Blancmange Brain.
Good evening.
Brown. We've got Matt Buck.
Good evening.
And myself, GA. Good evening to you all. So, where shall we start? Shall we start with our competition?
Why not?
Oh, we've got a competition tonight, folks. Second prize is an evening out with Matt Buck, and the first prize is a gun to your head, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's below the belt. So.
Yeah, well... No, it's in your head. Okay, whatever. So, here's the question. Just for a bit of fun, let's see who can answer this. And you can use the shout box, you can use Facebook, you can use Twitter, you can use Carrier Pigeon if you like. That'll be fine. So, the question is, in this match, the final score was 38-39 to Birmingham. Who was Birmingham riding against and in what year? So the score was 38-39. Who was Birmingham riding against, what year? Oh, and at which track as well. So there you go.
Can I answer it? Or might not.
Well, no, because you know the answer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Sort of defeats the object, really.
Yeah, just a little bit. So we've got a few things to talk about tonight. We're obviously going to talk about Matt Ford. And Poland. We're obviously going to talk about a very important meeting on Sunday and the press and practice.
That's right.
Shall we start with the press and practice, gentlemen?
Why not?
You was there.
I was.
Your thoughts?
Lovely weather.
Yes.
It was fantastic, wasn't
it? So different today, but this is obviously a British show because what do we start off with? The weather.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was a great day for watching some Speedway. Do you think we can ever glean anything from press and practice about form or anything like that? Or is it just a guesswork at the end of the day?
It's guesswork, isn't it? Because at the end of the it's all about blowing the cobwebs away and just getting the laps in.
Yeah.
You don't really know much about these riders until they've started contesting first corners. So you want to see them in competitive action first. Having
said that, we're going to do exactly that now, aren't we? We're going to glean what we can from what we saw. I think the one overriding comment that I heard all through the day, I bet you can guess what it is. JPB looked very, very good. Very good indeed. Adam Skornicki came out at one point, and I don't think he suffered in comparison, really. You might have a different.
Well,
there is that. I think if JPB rides as well as he looked, if that makes sense, he's in for a big season, isn't he?
Fearless, wasn't he? I mean, he took to it really well last season, and it's a different challenge for him this year. You know, he's not going to be protected at reserve where he can bully National League Juniors.
How often was he protected at reserve anyway? He was doing Heat 15s.
In fairness, well, there is that in fairness, but this time he's going to be expected to do the business against the big boys in the National League.
I don't think we've got any worries, really, do you?
Well, not on the evidence that we saw yesterday, but obviously the thing you've got to be mindful about is the Zach Voigtnick.
Yes,
because obviously he looked really good in his first season. Didn't really hit the heights last season.
He's a different type of rider, isn't he? He's just the way he's on the bike. It just looks effortless and stylish.
The thing you have with JPB is mentioning Zach Voigtnick there. That I think Zach, maybe obviously the fact that he didn't ride so well and his head went down a little bit. Just to be hoped that for Birmingham's sake that JPB doesn't do that.
Well, it's always a danger, I guess, with young riders. But I don't know, I just feel confident. I know that when he was on the recent GB shindig at Kings Lynn, I think it was, that I heard a lot of stories coming back saying that everybody was very impressed with him and his riding and his ability and so on. And you just get a feeling he's really going to be one for the future. It's difficult. You don't like to make those predictions because we've both seen it time and time again, where you've seen a rider and you thought, "Wow, that's going to be one. That's really going to be one," and then it doesn't happen for whatever reason. Injuries being the obvious cause, but sometimes attitude or whatever gets in the way. But he seems to have all of that in place, really.
He does, yeah. He's got a good team around him, I think, as well. You're hoping for a big season for him this year. Because
you wasn't at the press and practice at the forum last night.
No, I didn't go last night. No.
So one of the questions that was asked of the riders from the floor was, if I can get this right, who do you think is going to be number one if it's not you? Surprisingly, none of the riders answered that. They all wanted to go, well, it was me. I can't think of anybody. It's a sort of job. And who's going to be the first person to get a fine off the referee? Which I thought was a cracking question. And everybody said JPB, including JPB. So, interesting that one. Yeah.
And just to interject, Martin Guest says JPB is a superb talent.
Certainly is.
Yeah, I think, got to be nurtured right and all the rest of it, but he seems to be doing the right things and he was drinking water yesterday when everybody else was drinking. Mind you, he's only 16, so there is that.
You're worried if he was drinking.
Yeah. As I said it, I thought, hold on, okay. So shall we go through the riders then? And also, we'll go through it in the riding order. So as far as we can tell, these are the numbers that they were wearing at the press and practice. So that's generally an indicator of where they will be. Don't think there's any surprises with the riding order.
Not really.
No, so we've got number 1, Tom Bacon. He looked like Tom Bacon. Yeah, just as if he hadn't been off the bike. Number 2, Chris Hay. What did we reckon to Chris Hay? I'm looking at you because you can be more vitriolic than me.
I think he looked. As I say, it's difficult really to tell, but he looked, fairly tidy on the bike, didn't he? And,
you've got to remember he's only a 3-point average rider.
So he's not going to be. It's not going to be big expectations of him. I think anybody who's expecting him to be another JPB or Jack Smith is going to be disappointed.
We haven't got another JPB or
no,
Jack Smith.
That was a one-off, or a 2-off, I should say, if that makes any sense. So.
Well, a 3-off if you count Zach Voigtnick from the year before. I don't think we've got that this year. When he first came out, I think everybody went, "Ooh, oh dear," because he didn't look very comfortable on the bike, did he? Initially, but he came out and did a few more laps, and it just got better and better. I think as the night wore on, a few of the lads came out and seemed to be giving him advice.
Good team spirit, you say, in the pits.
Seemed to be, seemed to be. I don't think anything's going to beat last year's team spirit. But and they all. That's what they all spoke about on the night as well. So there we go. Oh yeah, if you look on the Facebook page, you'll see some pictures that were actually taken during the press and practice, including at the moment a track walk, so you can actually have a look at what the track looked like before the riders spoilt it.
It looks like a track to me.
It looks like a track, yeah. I think sometimes you don't get the sense of how wide it is from the outside, and it's it's quite a wide track.
It is quite a wide track. You don't notice it until you actually walk on it. So it doesn't. It always seems to be quite narrow when you're watching it from the from up in the stands. But
so anyway, we was talking about Chris Hay. So I think it's a difficult position, that number 2, isn't it? It's always a low.
Everyone says that's the difficult position, don't they? So
it's. You would imagine that him riding in that position at some point he's going to end up at reserve and get his chance at reserve, and so hopefully
get his confidence back if he sort of starts slowly.
But it is a difficult position, particularly with a 3-point rider in this league. But we shall have to see. Right, Darryl Richins. What did we reckon to Darryl?
Looked okay, I think.
Looked considering he admitted he hadn't actually been on a bike since the Eastbourne match, which. It was interesting. He didn't look as if he'd been away. Did you notice his Kevlars?
No, I didn't.
He's got his Brummie race jacket. He's actually sewn into the.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
which I thought was
I haven't
nice.
seen that for a long time.
No,
a lot of riders have done it in the past, but I
can't remember seeing it for a while. Great idea. I love it, and it shows commitment to the cause, I guess.
Yeah. What's he going to do if he loses his place? I'm not suggesting that's going to happen.
No, well, he is the captain. So. He looked like Darryl Richins. He seemed, as much as you can judge, because I was standing right by the start of the gate on the track, and so you get an idea of where the riders are revving and how they're starting. And so, and from what I saw, he was pretty sharp out of the gate. We'll find out whether I'm right, I guess, on Wednesday against Cradley. So, I don't no worries about Darryl from what I saw yesterday. And then we come up to Daniel Hume riding at number 4. I thought he looked fast.
He did, yeah. Has he ridden since
I think he's done a few bits and pieces. Yeah, he's done some of the training camps, and he went to Macon, France, and did some training there with some of the lads.
Yeah, it's a good strong middle order pairing. I think that is, isn't it?
Richins and Hume. That's going to be the engine. There
were so many people have said that over the years. The engine room pairing.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Well, it's. When you look at the other pairings, you've got Tom Bacon and Chris Hay. There's the obvious weakness in that partnership there, and you've got JPB and the reserves, which speaks for itself. So that you always need your 3 and 4 to be. That's where I guess you're looking for getting your 5-1s, and that number 4 is so important because Heat 12, because that's where he races.
14.
Heat 14 and that one as well, because I've been too busy looking at these 13 heat programs that you brought in. Have we had any answers to our...
No answers as of yet.
Okay, so I'll repeat that question for you. We have a program in front of me which shows a finishing score of 38-39, Birmingham winning by 1 point. Who was that against, at what track? That's obvious when you think about it. And what year was that? Okay, so it's just for fun. Okay, then we come on to the 2 reserves. Well, let's start with the number 7, Keane Dickens. Can't really say a lot about him, can we?
No, it's he's going to find it tough, I think. Keane Dickens, his first season. Even in the National League, where you're seeing a lot of riders starting out, you'll find a lot of them have obviously already been riding maybe for a year or two, so they'll have that little bit more experience. Graham said last week on the show, didn't he, that he urged people not to have massive expectations of him.
He did. And he said at the forum last night, he said only one thing to Keane Dickens, and that is learn. Learn. There's no pressure on the lad.
Try and enjoy it as well. I think that's important.
Yeah, I think he did mention that. I don't think he enjoyed it yesterday. That was such a shame. Don't really know what happened. It just seemed to
lose control, didn't he?
The back end just seemed to wash out. It's not ideal for him now coming into the Cradley meeting, not having really ridden the track. That's the only thing. But I guess the Cradley meeting's a challenge match, so it's as good a match as any to practice on.
Such things a challenge between
no. No, absolutely not. So Lane Coupit, what did you make of him?
I think he'll be solid enough at reserve. I wouldn't expect big things from him. He may well, with Chris Hayard, he may well find that at some point will probably go into the main body of the team. So that might be a potential weakness, I think, for the Brummies. But
he's swapping one weakness with another in a way, isn't it?
Fairness, So it's just which one handles it better in the main body of the team, especially number 2.
I think it's safe to say that what we've got here is a complete reversal of the team that we had last year. Well, not all the power, but a lot of power was in the bottom end. That was what was winning us a lot of matches. Whereas I think this year it's going to be this very, very solid 1 to 4, isn't it? Well, 1 to 5. No, 1 to 4. Top 4 are very solid. That's what I'm trying to say.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, very often do. So that's where the majority of our points are going to have to come from. If we can win or not lose the reserves race, that will be a bonus as well.
I think when you look at the Birmingham team, there'll be a lot of 8 wins, but I think it's going to be getting those third places, isn't it? Trying and getting those 4 twos. We're not going to be seeing 60-30s like we were last season, but.
No, maybe the away meetings are going to be a bit more difficult.
Yeah, I think the league. One criticism I would have of the National League last season, it was maybe a little bit too lopsided. There were a few teams that sort of went to Met teams, went to other clubs, and just simply fulfil the fixture.
Well, there's 3 really, wasn't there? Us, Eastbourne, and Kent were the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
were the ones. I don't think that's going to happen this year. However, you just don't know. But somebody somewhere. Bellevue possibly might have somebody.
Stoke possibly. Yeah, so interesting. Looking at the Stoke team, well, it's the average age of that Stoke team is 34, so it's not really. It's not really development, is it? So,
no, I don't.
It's a solid enough team, though. Stoke. I think they could be.
I think it is a solid team. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, having sort of seen that team, who's going to win against Cradley next week?
Well, it's difficult to say really because we haven't seen any of the Cradley riders in action yet. So
no, but I think they're
obviously I will see them in action on Monday because I'm assuming they're going to be practicing at the same time as the Wolves riders.
You would have thought so.
So
it's a similar sort of team in a way.
Could be close. I think the Birmingham Cradley matches will be very close this year at both tracks.
I think you could be right. It's going to be interesting. But of course we'll win because we're Birmingham. So yeah, we go back to that question. Before I give you that question, could you, Chris, tell everybody how they can actually give us their answers? And if nobody's got the question, good God, is that the time already? Within another 5 minutes, we'll offer a few clues out.
Yeah.
Well, you can come onto our Facebook page, which is you can go onto the Speedway Supporters Club Facebook page, or you can go onto the Brummies Forum page, or the UK Speedway Tavern page, or you can go onto our main website, which is www.srbradio.com, and go to chat and join in there and give us the answer there. I'll have a quick look, see if anybody has.
Okay, and the question again was, I have a programme in front of me, and the score is 38-39 to Birmingham. Who was that against, at what track, and what year? Okay.
Interesting.
Well, shall we talk a little bit about... No, I think we'll leave PK to the end. I think he deserves that, actually. Yeah. I don't believe I said that. So I'm going to read a statement by Matt Ford now, and then I'll be interested in your comments as well, Chris. So he's refusing to sign this piece of paper. The Polish top flight have asked him to sign, and he's insisted there's no chance that he's going to give in to Torun even, over Jack Holder. Controversial Extraliga regulations, that is so difficult to say. Decree riders must supply documentation from their foreign clubs confirming Polish dates take priority if a fixture clash occurs. Ford has been asked by Torun to sign a statement guaranteeing the availability of the 20-year-old Holder, but the Wimborne Road chief is refusing to relent, and he is adamant British Speedway needs to protect itself rather than bowing to the demands of others. Ford told the Daily Echo, a little mention for them, "I'm categorically not signing it. It's ridiculous and there is not a chance. I can assure people that if it weren't for British teams offering these riders clubs, none of the Polish clubs would want these guys." I think that's a fair point. "They are British-speaking citizens of a Commonwealth country who came into the UK on work permits, and as and when Polish teams give them contracts, they then want priority on them. Not a chance. It's corrupt. This will cause problems. It will mean that eventually one or two of these riders won't ride in Britain, or that one or two have to give up Poland. But in my opinion, we need to start protecting ourselves and looking after British Speedway and not others. Jack has never ridden a competitive meeting in Poland, and yet they want priority on him. That can't be the way. He has been living in England for a couple of years and been a pool asset for a period of time. Under FIM International Speedway League Bureau rules, riders typically prioritise meetings in their homeland in the event of a fixture class or race in the meeting inked in first if both are on foreign soil." And Ford added, "If Hans Andersen or Nikolai Klint have a Danish fixture they need to fulfil, that's their home nation, and that's fine. I accept that with Krzysztof Kasperzak, that Poland is his home nation. If there's a clash in that respect, I do understand that." So what are our thoughts, gentlemen?
Can I just quickly go back to a comment from Mark Thomas? He says, last year, Kiwi looked like he had come on leaps and bounds, including the under-19s. I think he finished 5th, but looked on the pace, says Mark Thomas.
Who was that again, sorry?
Mark Thomas.
No, but who was he talking about, sorry?
Cupid,
okay. I know that they thought very highly of him in the Isle of Wight, and I think he was named their Rider of the Year, so... Yeah, I mean, we never really spoke a lot about him, did we, actually? I'm a bit worried about his starts, but hopefully that will improve from what I saw. But other than that, I thought he looked tidy and good on the bike. Yep. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a solid enough team. So, right, yeah, going back to Matt Ford, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Matt Ford. It doesn't happen very often. What are your thoughts, Matt?
I think I said on this show last year, didn't I, that Polish Speedway has done a huge amount of damage to British Speedway over the last 20-25 years.
Has Polish Speedway done that, or have we let them do that?
Bit of both. Bit of both, I think. I don't think it's just the British League either. I think Denmark, Sweden, and the other countries. I think they're. Chris Van Straten. I was at the Wolves Forum back in November, and Chris Van Straten was regaling the information that he was given by Jakub Torsel about his contract in Poland, and his contract stipulated that apparently that if Jakub's in England on a Monday ready to ride for Wolves, if his Polish club contact him and say he has to go into the city where he's racing in Poland and be present at the opening of a shop, he has to be there. He can't ride for Wolves. I mean,
well, that's just.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know who the Poles think they are, to be honest. I mean, I think the Polish Federation.
Well, I have a different question actually. What are the FIM doing? Are they not supposed
sticking their head in the sand by the looks of it? They're not doing anything.
So maybe BSBA need to be saying to the cause a ruckus really, and say no, we're not going to do this, and what are you going to do about it?
I think so. Yeah.
It's words are failing me completely. I think it's absolutely terrible. It's terrible for this sport in this country, and it's going to be terrible for the sport overall. Poland can't operate in a vacuum.
No, they can't. At the end of the day, I think they as awareness as well. In that as well, Poland, the Polish league, really, a lot of these, they don't seem to realise that a lot of these riders need to be riding in other leagues to earn enough money to be able to get kit to racing. Well, that's right. I mean, so many of them. Poland,
so many of them don't actually get to race in Poland, do they? I mean, they're part of a squad system, and
it's happened for so many years, though. It's really ever since the Poles opened the doors to the top riders in the very early 90s.
Do you think there needs to be some sort of ruling of one rider, one team, wherever that might be. I mean, you would assume that in some ways, the UK would suffer in that situation initially.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be people listening to us who are going to be thinking the same old average question that's been asked so many times over the years about one night a week Speedway in the UK.
Thanks, Jonathan. Heat number 2.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's been mentioned in the past, hasn't it?
Is it possible?
I think Keith Chapman is keen to have it, and I think one or two other promoters have looked into it. I don't know what night you'd really do it, to be honest, though, if you were going to do that. I think it would have to be middle of the week.
But, I think you're looking at Wednesdays, really, aren't you?
Well, Wednesday's the Danish League, so...
Right.
So I mean...
Maybe Thursdays, then.
Thursdays or Mondays. But Monday's right bang slap in the middle of Poland and Sweden, so...
So you're talking
Thursdays.
But I think the problem with that, or the problem that I envisage, is that's all very well us doing that.
Yeah.
But what we're doing is accommodating other leagues. There is nothing to stop Poland, and we know this from past experience, from what we've just been listening. There's nothing for Poland saying, actually, we want to race on Wednesdays now, for instance, or we want to have that available for us in case of rained-off meetings. So you're back to square one at that point. If that happens, it needs to be done with some sort of cross-league agreement, surely.
I'm not so sure whether that would happen, to be honest. I think the Poles obviously happy with their Sunday meetings because that's when people are off work and they get the big crowds in at the weekend meetings.
But if they're struggling because of weather situations...
Yeah. And it does get damn cold over there, doesn't it?
I mean... It's a possible danger, and with other leagues as well, not just Poland, of course. And so I would say that, that's quite a good idea, but it needs to be done with an agreement put in place of that Wednesdays is our league day, or whatever the day is, and
But we don't seem to have this problem with the Swedes or with the Danes, do we? It's only really with the Polish league because they just simply won't cooperate with anybody. It's our way, and that's it.
That's certainly. Well, I mean,
that's the impression that we get.
Yeah, well, that's the impression that they give, isn't it?
Yeah.
They feel like they're top dog in Speedway, and in a way, I mean,
I suppose in fairness, looking at it from playing devil's advocate for a minute, they probably think, well, it's not our problem what happens in Britain at the end of the day. We want what's best for our business, not anybody else's. So I can see it from that point of view, but it's there needs to be a bit of meeting in the middle, I think, and I just don't think the Poles seem very willing to.
This is where you need the FIM to step in and say, well, you're not going to get your GPs if you don't play the game. We'll cut you off, or whatever that needs to be done.
So this is.
Yes, Chris.
I mean, Ian says people with the money call the shots. There is no money in British Speedway and poor crowds.
Well, I think that's true, but perhaps this is part of the problem of why. There are many things you can point to, I think, but this might be part of the problem.
We should have asked this to Graham last week. I'm sure he'd have had an opinion on it.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably get him in again before the end of the season.
Opinions?
So we'll probably get him in before the end of the season, I'm sure, and we'll certainly put that one to him. Okay. Well, we haven't sorted anything out with that, really. I don't know what there is to sort out, but it's just plain wrong, isn't it? Come on, BSPA, start flexing your muscles.
It's almost illegal, I would say, some of the things that they've...
well, yeah, and actually that I remember what I was going to say now, and I have to wonder whether... I don't want to get into the whole politics of it, but we're going through a Brexit thing soon.
Yeah.
What's that going to change? Is it going to change things?
Don't know, do we?
Because as it stands, a Danish rider... I think Denmark in the EU. I can't remember who's in the EU.
Denmark Orange, yeah.
Yeah, they've got the right to race here, basically, and we can't say no. But all of a sudden, we're going to be a situation where we can say, actually, you have to have so many British riders in the team. That we can't do now because of the EU regulations. But, we can say.
I think the EU got bigger things to worry about than number of riders in a British Speedway team, hasn't they?
Well, yeah, but from a a British promoter's point of view, I've asked Graham about this before, and he has said, look, the EU rules are this, so we can't do that. But all of a sudden, we are going to be in a situation where we can say only 5 British riders per team, or 4 British riders per team, whatever it's going to be.
Well, I remember when the fast track system was brought into the Elite League, Chris Van Stratton said that was the BSBA's target, to have a situation where each club had at least 4 British riders in it. So, and that was before.
There is an improvement on that.
That was before, obviously, the referendum was even mentioned. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is an improvement on that.
Oh, yeah,
there are
without
more
doubt.
British riders.
Yeah, the fast track system.
Unfortunately, it's the same British riders in all 3 leagues. That's
the fast track system has done its job in that sense, in bringing more British riders into the top league.
Well, I think so. Watch this space on that. Watch this space. Okay, so a very important meeting on Sunday. Would you like to? Has we had any answers, by the way?
No. Do you want to give?
Right.
Well,
we're going to give.
one more time?
Let me have a look. Let me have a look at my programme.
And then maybe we could play our classic track.
That'd be a good idea, actually. Yes. So this meeting that ended 38-39. Going into Heat 12, the scores were 33-all, and then Birmingham got a 5-0 in Heat 12 because one rider fell off and the other rider's silencer fell off.
Only in Speedway.
Only in Speedway, absolutely. And we have a classic moment from our first season with a certain Mr. Emiliano Sanchez on the very first Sky meeting at Birmingham.
Not sure what this track is.
Riding blind. Have we got it?
Yeah, it's already here.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Thanks, Jonathan. Heat number 13 it is. Ricky Ashworth in form for Sheffield. 7 points from 3 rides. He's off the inside in green. Ulrich Ostergaard. 9 out of 9. Unbeaten. Gate 2 in red for Birmingham. Gate 3 in yellow. Joel Parsons for Sheffield. And off the outside, Emiliano Sanchez for the Brummies in the blue helmet colour. 6 points so far for Emiliano. Conditions treacherous, but the boys are carrying on. Gate 3 is more beneficial at the moment, of course, and that's for Joel Parsons here. Big race, heat number 13, 1 point in it. Which way will it go here? Ostergaard has made a great start, coming round as well, Sanchez. Ashworth gets up the inside for Sheffield, locks up. 3rd place at the moment is Parsons. Oh, it's so close down the back straight, and Joel Parsons has just choked down Emiliano Sanchez. With no messing at all, and Ulrich Ostergaard has that lead. Now Sanchez, despite the lack of visibility at the back, is winding on and having a real go. Oh, Ricky Ashworth backs up here. Ricky Ashworth's bike has given up the ghost.
That's the problem there. Like Ricky broke down, and Emilio can't see nothing with all the rain and the dirt on him. And he was racing as hard as he could going into that corner, and he was extremely lucky not to collect.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And this would put the meeting in Birmingham's favour by 1 point. All of a sudden, the Brummies would be a point up here with a 4-2. But don't write off Sanchez yet. He's still coming on strong here.
Joel Parsons. Like now with Ricky, he's still having a go to the lad, isn't he?
Absolutely. And Sanchez is going wide. He's going to dive up the inside. Can he get up to the finish? Oh! How close was that? How close was that? And I'll tell you what, the referee has got a close call there in heat number 13. And they don't care about the conditions, do they? They are going for it. Who's got it here, Carl? It's so close. It's a photo finish.
I'm not the referee, but it looks... I'll agree.
Well, we're going to see another angle of this. The referee's watching these pictures. He can give a dead heat if he wants to, can't he? But
he can, yeah. But
if he can't split them,
I don't know how you split them, to be honest. It's a dead heat.
That to me is a dead heat. Oh, sorry, you can't have dead heats anymore.
Well, apparently not. I haven't seen one since we've come back.
I've seen one. Perry Bar saw one.
Did you?
Yeah, Carl Stone, you got one, I think.
That's not quite the angle we want.
I mean, 2007.
There you go.
All right. So, well, there you go. Wow. Emiliano Sanchez was just fearless.
That must be the wettest night I can remember at a Speedway meeting. It was absolutely horrendous, wasn't it?
I can only remember one more night, which was back in 1973, 74, and you might have seen the picture of Andy Graham and Alan Graham just absolutely caked in mud. But yeah, it was a similar night. Wow, I mean, but he couldn't see a thing.
No.
But he was still
Probably the Gold
racing.
Cup final in '92 at Reading was wetter than that, but that's.
But you said the classic thing there. Was that really 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, how quick has that gone?
Lots going on in that time. Birmingham have been in 3 leagues since then, so for a start.
Yeah, and leagues have changed names.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we've all gone
And
grey.
how many playoff finals have we been in now? Well, one actually, and we've won that.
Yeah.
2. Forgotten the Elite League one as
Yeah.
well. We didn't. Yeah, we're really trying to forget that Elite League one. Have we got any comments on our competition?
No one's got a clue.
You'd have thought they'd at least started guessing the year by now. There's not that many. Okay, we'll give you another clue. So, no, I can't give you that clue. I will give you the Birmingham lineup for that match. So, riding at number 1 was Ray Wilson. At number 2, and captain was Richard Greer. Number 3, Phil Hearn. 4, Harry Koppanen. 5, Bent Janssen. 6, Alan Emerson. And 7, your dad's favourite rider, Finn Jensen.
Not.
Yeah, I know. Right, so very important meeting on Sunday. Would you like to tell us about it?
PK, the final word. Peter Carlson says his official farewell to British Speedway on Sunday after 27 years racing in the UK, holding off.
27 years.
Yep. So several clubs he's ridden for: Lakeside, Peterborough, Bellevue, Kings Lynn, but of course, obviously, his main connection has been at Wolves. And he's put together a decent field for his big day. We've got Hans Anderson and Nikolai Klimt from Poole, so they'll be getting a good close look at the track ready for next Monday when the Poole are there for the Elite Shield. Bomber, of course, is riding in it, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of Coventry fans. Some Coventry fans will be making the trip who don't go to Peterborough to watch their challenge match. David Howe, of course, making his continuing his comeback. He's riding, of course, ex-Wolves rider. Niels Christian Davison, Magnus Carlsen, obviously the younger of the 3 Carlsen brothers, Freddie Lindgren, Sam Masters, Scott Nichols, Adam Skornicki, Jakob Torsell, Ricky Wells, with Max Clegg and Carl Howarth as the 2 reserves. Brott Nicol as well makes his first appearance in the UK. He's 18 years old, son of Doug Nicol, who rode for Middlesbrough back in 1992. Highly rated by Greg Hancock from stories that I've seen as well. We've got the match races: Ronnie Corrie, Sam Malenko, Michael Max, Paul Hurry, who rode for the Wolves in 1992. So yeah, so it should be a good night or good day on Sunday, weather permitting. Unfortunately, because the forecast I don't think is brilliant, but
Well, don't believe in weather forecasts. And I still remember that, was it Sam Malenko meeting when it was Sam, it was snowed?
That is one of the coldest days I can remember. But no, it's going to be an emotional occasion on.
Have you seen the pair ups? Because it's a pairs meeting.
I have got the pair ups. Yeah, they've done. Yeah. They did the draw yesterday,
I've got them here actually.
Okay.
It's Peter Carlson and Freddie Lindgren.
Yep.
Being managed by Peter Adams. That's probably going to be your winners there, I think. Magnus Carlsen and Jakob Torsell managed by Calvin Tatum.
Yeah.
Nikolai Klimt and Hans Andersen managed by Jan Stechman. Adam Skornicki and Niels Christian Everson managed by Alan Rossiter. Going to be a lot of eyes on Adam Skornicki, I
that's
think.
going to be.
Scott Nichols and Chris Harris. Interesting. Team managed by Alan Rossiter. No, that's not. That's from Peter Schrock. I do beg your pardon.
Ex-Rice team manager. Yeah. Ex-Wolves rider, of course, as well. Did have a brief spell at the club many years ago. Sam
Masters and David Howe being managed by Mark Lemon, and Ricky Wells and Brock Nicol being managed by Neil Vatcher. There's also going to be a demonstration line from the British Young Lions as well.
Yep.
And got a battle between Ronnie Corrie, Sam Ermolenko, Michael Max and Paul Hurry.
That's right. Three match races against each other.
That's all happening.
So we've got the Young Lions as well, so you never know, a few of those riders that you see might be riding for Birmingham at some point. In a few years' time. You never know. So
you don't know anything.
They are the future. They're the future of British Speedway at the end of the day. So
they might be riding for us on Wednesday if Keane Dickens doesn't get his shin sorted out. Yes. What time does it kick off?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. So
I understand there's more than just Speedway going on.
Yeah, there's plenty of other things going on. There's a rock band. I'm not sure which one it is.
That's useful.
Pretty much entertainment. So I didn't know until you told me that actually. So
now somebody told me yesterday. Yeah, I might make the trip over. Yeah, you never know. It depends on where I am and what I'm doing.
I think it'll be a big crowd as well.
I'll just ring the bell because we do have a winner.
Well,
although she should be exempt.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's have a look at this. I think there's a bit of nepotism going here. Have you been on? I want to see if he's been on the phone.
I want to know what nepotism
my
means.
Phone switched off. So my phone switched off.
A certain Linda Buck.
Never heard of her.
Well,
sorry.
She's told us who the two teams are. Wolverhampton got 38 and Birmingham got 39. But we're still looking for the year.
Which is what we want.
And we're still looking for the track, although I think that's probably been given away now.
Sorry, Mum.
So we're still looking for what year it was.
So when Matt was slightly texting down there, he didn't give the year out.
He doesn't know the year because I haven't told him that's what it is.
Yeah, typical.
Actually, I forgot the year. I'm going to have to have a look myself now. Oh, yes. Yeah. It was what I thought it was.
So we still want the year?
We still want the year, yes, please.
Googling.
So we know it's Wolverhampton now. We'll give you the Wolverhampton team, which was Hans Nielsen at number 1. Somebody called Ellegaard, first name I forgot.
No, I think not Ellegaard.
Yeah, Knud, yes, that was it. Yeah, Jim McMillan, Jersey Kowalski, Dave Morton, Steve Lomas, and Brian Woodward. And as another aside, to just keep this going, who was it in Heat 12 that lost his silencer?
It was Hans Nielsen.
No, you're not supposed to tell me.
You didn't tell me.
He didn't read the memo, did he, earlier? He didn't get the email.
You're not part of the competition.
You didn't. I thought you were asking me to
No. I said as another aside.
I thought it was as well, actually.
It was Hans Nielsen that lost his silencer in Heat 12, which meant they couldn't win.
We sometimes prepare this show. Not this show,
obviously not.
We didn't go like this in rehearsals, did we?
No. Rehearsals? I wasn't invited to those.
I forgot we don't invite you, did we? No. It's because we wanted to go properly.
So, yeah. What year was it? I think that's all we've got left. And if your name is Buck, you're not allowed to answer.
I'll go, Jill.
There's a few Coventry meetings popping up.
Yes.
Here, there and everywhere, which... is that the Speedway family coming together, or is that cynical by promoters thinking, we can get lots of Coventry fans?
Maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. So the latest one that I've seen is at Leicester, which is going to be at Beaumont Park on May the 13th. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how many Bees fans turn up for these. I think they need to turn up for them because that's showing any future promoters that there's...
Yeah, well, of course, the first one's on Sunday at Peterborough, so...
That's going to be interesting to see. That surely Peterborough are on a hiding to nothing in that match.
Well, it's the first chance for them to see their team this season, so...
It's going to be interesting to see how that goes, given that they've had this stated aim of trying to bring the two leagues closer together. It's going to be interesting to see how much closer together they will be.
Obviously, Kenneth Bier now fixed up because he's joined Bellevue. So.
Yes, is he still going to be riding for Coventry on that day, do we know? I know...
I'm guessing he will be, yeah.
I know Chris Harris is going to be riding for Coventry in the Poole meeting.
Yeah.
Because there's a meeting at Poole. I mean, they're cropping up all over the place. Wonder whether we'll get one at Birmingham.
Might be nice to think so.
Yeah, I don't think we want to ride against their
don't
think we want to ride against their elite league team. Perhaps they need to put a national league team together. But yeah, that would be interesting.
Come on, guys, we still want the year for this competition.
Yes, what year did Birmingham beat Wolverhampton at Monmore Green 38-39? Hans Nielsen lost his silencer, and Matt Buck lost his lunch.
I wasn't alive then.
Retrospectively,
and there's been over 1,000 views, and I can't believe no one has got that yet.
Wow!
So there we go.
Okay, we're going to start another competition up pretty soon. We might as well tell them about it. So this goes this way. when you're watching us on Facebook, you can share.
Yeah, very easily. Yeah,
very easily. And when you share, we can track it.
We can track it. Yeah.
And
we know who you are.
What we're proposing to do is to have a prize draw for people that share us on Facebook, and we're going to have a few silly prizes and stuff for people to win, perhaps some autograph programs or scarves or whatever.
Memorabilia type thing. Yeah.
So that's one to watch for the future. So if you want to practice now sharing us, we'd be more than happy with that one.
And if you're on your mobile, you can see there's a little button down the bottom that just says share.
That's handy, isn't it?
Yeah. And you just sort of click it.
Where?
Yeah.
Amazingly, when you click it, you share it.
Incredible.
It's amazing, this modern technology. Yep.
Linda Book, whoever she is, thinks it's 1978.
I'm sure I said something, but however, she got beat by Alan Fellows.
Oh, did she?
Did,
crikey, yes. Oh.
So,
I thought for a split second it said Alan Phillips.
That's a photo finish, that was. They both come at the same time.
Alan Phillips. You need to leave now.
You're in trouble tonight.
Good God. I told you, no swearing. So, yeah, it was 1978. Wolves versus Birmingham. Heat 1 was a 1-5 to Birmingham. Ray Wilson and Richard Gere beating Hans Nielsen and Nud Ellegaard. Wow, I bet that didn't happen very often. And there was 5-1s and 1-5s and 5-1s and 1-5s all the way down there. That must have been a really exciting match.
Still looking at some of the teams on the back of the programme as well, some of the ones that we haven't got anymore. Halifax, Coventry, of course, Hackney, Wimbledon, Bristol, Hull, White City,
frightening, isn't
Exeter. Some great names there. Reading as well. Some great names there that we've lost in that time. So, but 1978 programme was 20 pence.
Yeah, well, we will do a few of these. We've got a few programmes, and we'll do a few of these over the weeks and see how many.
Oh, I've got hordes and hordes of them. So there you go.
And I told you not to tell me about your doctor problems.
Sorry. And some Speedway programmes as well.
Great stuff. Well, I think we need to look ahead we've got Wolverhampton versus
Poole.
Well, that's the Shield, isn't it?
The Shield, yeah.
Come on then, what's your reckoning over 2 legs? Who's going to win that one?
Well, we'd like to think Wolves have got a good chance of doing the business. I'm sure Poole will be up for revenge for the playoff semi-final defeat. I'd like to think we could beat them over 2 legs.
I know you'd like to think that. Obviously, you'd like to think that, but do you think you will?
I'd like to think we'll win the league again, but I'm not convinced.
I think Paul's going to win the league.
Is that going by history, or?
I just think it looks. You look at the reserves, and they've just got. I just think
they do look strong on paper. In fairness, but I'm looking forward to the practice on Monday, because obviously that's when really the decision will be made on the pairings as well. I think the only one I'm fairly certain is going to be happening is that Freddie Lindgren will be at number 1. I think what Peter Adams normally does is watches them in the 2 practice sessions and watches what sort of lines they're racing, because you don't want to be. If 2 riders riding on the same line, you don't really want to be putting them out as a pairing, because they'll just get in each other's way. So yeah,
but you would hope at that level they can ride whichever line they need to ride at any particular moment. Wouldn't
I think I've seen quite a few pairings in the past of riders who've experienced, who've sort of carved the team out up quite a bit. And
Thomas Peace, anybody?
Yeah, that's it. So.
Yeah, Thomas Peace. I'll drink to that.
Good man.
Okay, so you're gonna go for a Wolverhampton
obviously
win,
yes.
right? I'm gonna go for a Poole win.
Yeah,
obviously. That's not obvious. I don't really want Poole to win, if I'm honest. So we'll have a little wager on that. I'll buy you a drink.
Crikey.
Bottle of water, is it?
Yeah, whatever.
I'll get the camera out for that one.
I'm quite happy that I'm not going to lose that. So, so Chris, you're gonna.
Oh, I'm gonna what?
Who are you gonna go for?
I'm gonna go for Poole as well. Yeah.
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 You just didn't walk out like Wolverhampton.
No,
so that's the. I actually have a complaint that was given to me yesterday at the forum. Somebody was very upset that they didn't feel that you had been positive enough about Wolverhampton's chances this season.
Who was this person?
Some random person that just accosted me in the toilet and then ran away, pretty much.
I've got a feeling I know who it is, actually.
Oh, okay.
You seem to meet a lot of people in the toilets. What are you doing in there?
Oh dear.
Who invited?
I feel the George Michael moment coming on.
I know what he's going to play now.
It's not a case of being negative, it's just my opinion, really.
Well, don't do it again. I don't like getting accosted in the toilet.
I really
despite
like
what
getting
he said.
That's not what I
Well,
heard.
in fairness, the last time I predicted Wolves would have a good season was 2008, and we finished bottom. So
Right.
maybe a reason why I'm
Yeah.
sort of.
I'm trying to remember what you predicted. You wasn't that enamoured last season.
No,
was
I
he?
was. I thought we'd be in the playoffs. I wasn't convinced that we'd win the league, but I thought we'd definitely be a playoff team last season.
Was that the best moment for you when you beat Paul last year? I mean, obviously winning the final was mega, but
I think to come back from 12 points in the second leg,
yeah.
which hadn't been done in the playoffs before that, was fantastic. I know Paul obviously didn't have the full strength team out, but even most people around me thought it was going to be a tall order. But we had a really good start in that meeting, and Paul came back at us. But
similar to what happened to us against Eastbourne, in that.
Yeah. So it was a season when players were good.
Were good. I have got a bone of contention, and Chris, you'll be interested in this one because I know how much you love these. The Bellevue meeting at the end, giving out a war cry.
Oh, right.
Giving out a war cry. They were. Did you? Was you part of that? Would you give us a? How'd you go? Give us a W? Would you go to give us a W? Is that how you do that?
Probably say, give us a W.
Yeah, they did a war cry and you
dear.
pinched it. How dare you? All these teams that keep saying to us, "Oh, it's old hat, it's old fashioned, you shouldn't do it." Blah blah blah.
Well, old Spike used to do those at Wolves. He used to dress with Mr. Wolf. He didn't need a microphone either because his voice was that loud. And eventually, he had to stop doing them because it was damaging his voice. So, but great character Spike was, if anybody remembers him. So,
well, I think we'll call it a day then, lads.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We'll leave the show on a few clips from which is entitled WTF.
Oh, okay, yes. WTF, yeah, some good.
We could do that.
And obviously we'll be back next week.
Yep.
Hopefully, I won't be crying. Hopefully we will beat Craig. Actually, hopefully it will have been a really good match and good workout for particularly our reserves, and fingers crossed nobody gets injured. So, see you all next week. Hope to see a few of you at the PK meeting, because I think the guy's been a great servant to British Speedway. And you'll hear what's going on with the Poland thing. That just needs to be marked, I think. So, see you all next week, and have care and enjoy WTF.
Good night.
good night.
So it's Morton, the 2-sec, and Sean Wilson. On the 2-sec, not very happy. Seems to be pushed out there, so drama. 2-sec, very annoyed indeed. And he's going to need to be restrained. Well, I wonder what you made of that, obviously. Some riders here now. Wilson's getting involved.
Second leg here at a packed Wimborne Road, and Chris Harris has just made a belting start off gate number 6. Oh, he's gone down!
Oh! Lewis Bridger just ridden straight over the back of Chris Harris.
Holder in red is coming up the inside. Chris Holder for Paul. Harris closes the door. Holder's trying the inside. The Elite League title's on the line. Going down to turn 3 and 4. Sensational Speedway! And now here comes Harris for more! Holder has the lead! Down to the line! Whoa!
Speedway race that is! Incredible Speedway once again!
Bannar där för att han satt åt honom där ute.
Har han lite trängd där eller?
Oj, han är riktigt upprörd. Men det är... Han försöker köra
Han
på.
åker och jagar. Och titta vad han kör på!
Oj, oj, oj.
Oj, vad är det som händer? Tuva. Och sen är det kampbild, kuggning mellan Grigori Laguta.
Se Fredrik går ut ganska långt med Jason och Jason får all det där materialet och sprayas på oss och det stannar han helt och hållet. Du ser han tappar all hastighet där Jason. Försöker försvara sig, han ser inte riktigt och Andreas kör ju rätt in i.
Raz, ale Chris Holder w kasku niebieskim. No totalnie bez głowy. Widzimy ten atak. Tak, Krzysztof Kasprzak pierwszy został potrącony i później chcąc nie chcąc musiał uderzyć w Chrisa Harrisa.
Świetnie! Krzysztof Kasprzak, ależ to była akcja! Oni sobie, ależ Kasprzak jedzie, fatalna historia! Wbił się, nie zdążył zeskoczyć. Patrzmy, co dzieje się z Krzysztofem, który tutaj był napędzony strasznie, a tutaj, no właśnie, wjechał w kolejne, tutaj uderzył plecami.
Zrobił Scott Nichols, ale jedno co możemy powiedzieć Emilowi to, że to jest Speedway i tak się jeździ w Grand Prix i myślę, że tutaj Emil nie powinien mieć do Nicholsa pretensji. O proszę, jaka wymiana uprzejmości, no niepotrzebne to jest, proszę, wywieziony teraz w bandę, Emil Sajfudinow, kopnął Nichols jego motocykl, kopią się, no nie, proszę Państwa, tego już... Sebastian Ułamek, no bo jedzie znakomicie, Sajfudinow wyprzedził teraz Nicholsa, nie wyprzedził, wypycha Rosjanina nosem.
Co zrobił Woffinger? Walczymy, ależ teraz i wypadek, straszny motocykl na trybunach, uciekają tam kibice, ależ tragedia.
Kiedy silnik wypadł z ramy, ale takiej historii jeszcze nie widziałem nigdy.
Myślę, że nieprawdopodobnego. Ja byłem świadkiem takiej sytuacji, muszę ci powiedzieć.
którym wszyscy słyszeliśmy kilka dni temu ze startu, najlepiej Aleksandr Łopka. Oj.
Na wejściu, do czego został zmuszony w tym momencie.
Jechał Łoptajew daleko od krawężnika.
Tak, został po prostu wypchnięty przez Aleksandra Łoptajewa.
Bardziej ucierpiał, wjeżdża tutaj pod Słoweńca, no i wysadzony tutaj, wykatapultowany, całe szczęście, że uderzyłem o Jasonie Krampie, ależ tam jest teraz sytuacja, Nicky Pedersen, będzie walka, kopnął Mateja Żagara, tutaj jeszcze jakieś dogrywkę w boksie, ale są tam panie, więc obyczaje, miejmy nadzieję, zostaną... O, jesteś... Bardzo dużo słów na F, ktoś tam jest popykany, ktoś popycha Żagara, Crystal Gardel prowokuje Pedersen, wiesz co, powiem ci Jacek...
Pedersen och Calder och de kör på varandra och Pedersen går i kull. Vem åker dit på det där? Vem åker... Det är ju helt fantastiskt. Och så är det lite psykningar. Klassiska Nicky Pedersen psykningar på Chris Holler som håller sig kall. Och nu börjar de att knuffas också. Det här är ju onödigt. Holler visar att han tänker inte ta vad som helst. Och det är boxning där nere nu när en mekaniker...